His imprint is on every part of this community. In the early 2000s, when I was wringing my hands about all the traffic on College Road, because I was worried about the thousands of students that had to cross the road. And I was complaining, oh, we've got all this traffic and it's not safe for the thousands, and they're building all these apartments. And Bob, in his slow-talking, low voice, said, Hannah, there was a time when university leaders stood on the porch of Hoggard Hall and looked across the campus at College Road and prayed that a car would come down the road. And he said, so it's all in your perspective. And I realized that all that traffic was progress. It was growth.
So when the Seacoast Railroad left town and moved to Jacksonville, Florida, it took 2,000 jobs in a very small town. They put together a little business group, and they entertained people from all over the country to bring their business here. So they got GE, DuPont, Corning, so all of a sudden the tables turned a little bit and the town became a little more prosperous.
The business community and the lifestyle community are not mutually exclusive. They benefit each other, and he was as keen on both, preparing our community for great things. When I met him back in the early 90s, a lot of great things had happened. I-40 was just opening up. Our state ports was beginning to see the benefit of a lot of transit. Our airport was growing, and Bob was able to put a lot of perspective on that for me. He's a wealth of information. He's a great family man. He's a great business person. There's nobody more deserving of this honor than Bob Warwick, I can tell you that.
I was fresh out of college, didn't know much about anything. All of a sudden, here comes sort of my first client, Bob Warwick. He's been involved in every organization, Chamber of Commerce, Wilmington Business Development, United Way, started the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, projects like I-40, and many others, and pretty much all of them. He's a person who, really, when I think of Wilmington, I see a picture of Bob Warwick.
I think that Bob's done one thing that's really unique. He's really reached that point of being that first choice advisor. And I think that one of the things that's unique about Bob too is he's worked across generations. And then you also don't do that without making a great impact on your community. One of the things that I was probably most astonished by when I was considering a transfer here was the Committee of 100 and understanding that concept of let's get the business community together. Let's figure out where it is that we want to go.
We both understood that UNCW was the lowest funded campus in the entire 16 campus system. And it turned into a decade-long campaign, and we won. We were from different political parties, so Bob had this strategy that he could bring in some Republicans, I could bring in some Democrats. We could ask Appalachian State to join us because they were the second lowest funded, and we could get their votes. And so we pieced together this very bipartisan coalition and prevailed and got the extra $7 million added to the university's budget on a continuing basis.
He's a big part of I-40 coming to Wilmington, seeing that no stoplight from here to Barstow, California. Bob Warwick's got a great input on that. His work with the university, his support of the community college, his support of existing industry and industry that has grown here, not just in Wilmington, but in this region. The economic well-being and the potential that's here was fostered and created over the last 60 years by people like Bob. He's always been a tremendous resource to us, and can't thank him enough for that.
For those who know him and just know the spirit, it just lives on like a father to a son or whatever. He's been a great mentor. Don't know anybody who's any better than him at that.
He's just a solid guy. He has the ability to see way down the road what something means or will mean 50 years from now. He loves his family. He comes from the generation that truly believes that you give back to your community, and Bob has always been that way.
Faithful man, he's a patriot, a role model, and a leader. And he comes from the right place. He cares. He cares about people. He cares about this community. And he's constantly worked to make us all better. And I'm thinking about the live oak out at Airlie Gardens and the deep roots in that tree and the broad branches of that tree. And Bob Warwick, that's kind of a metaphor for Bob. He has deep roots, broad branches. There's shade under that tree. And many of us are enjoying the benefits of that shade today.
So that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Is that a wrap?